911, where we talk about health, wealth, and peace of mind. Now, you get your healthy money in order, which will give you your peace of mind, but how's it going to work for you if you don't have your health? You can't enjoy your wealth. And that's why I'm really excited to share a good friend of mine. We've known each other for a few years. I went to one of her events at the racetrack where we had a great presentation. Nadine, you heard her wonderful bio. I just want to welcome you here. It's really neat to see you.
Hey, thank you so much, and it's glad to reconnect with you after, I don't know, maybe 6, 7 years, 10 years. We know each other, and it's
Yeah.
always a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you so much. Nadine, your journey from, the background of finances now, I was like, whoa, look at her now becoming the president of the FLB Renal Institution Foundation. It's truly inspirational. And maybe you can share what may have motivated you to dedicate your expertise into the prevention and treatment of kidney disease and diabetes.
Hey, thank you so much for having me and asking that question because in life it's always about what is your mission and what is your big why. You know me
Right.
with my inspirational speeches and leadership program employees, and like you, I have a big background in finance and business. So because I'm a business owner and also a business management consultant, business consultant, when I was approached about 9 months ago from Chuck de la Matter, a good friend of mine since 10 or 12 years. I remember at that time I was focusing on my speaking business and I was working a lot, pro bono, of course, because I speak to inspire teens and women entrepreneurs and all that. And he was always telling me, why are you working so hard? I'm like, I'm already semi-retired since 36. I did the travel around the United States with my RV, my motorcycle racing, but after a year and a half, you need to do something with your life. And I was asking him, what is your mission? He's like, oh, I made so much money in my life. I'm about to retire. He's a dialysis patient now since 18 years. He got 29 heart attacks, two strokes, 45 surgeries. He got just his toe amputated last couple of weeks. This guy is a machine. And at that time, I was, because he has a kidney disease that is going from grandfather to grandkids. And I'm like, what is your mission? And now, 12 years later, 10, 12 years later, because of the economy and the COVID and my speaking business, my book and my coaching, it's not the same anymore. And he's like, I need to bring you back to your mission to help people. So that's why 9 months ago, I decided, I said, okay, I'll give you a day or two, a week to put that project together, business plans, financing, funding, uh, HR department, branding, marketing, everything we learn at CEO Space International and my business skills and finance. Now it's all back together. So now I'm a small fish in a big pond. So I have a lot of things to learn on the medical side, which I will share a little bit more later.
That's great. Isn't it? It's just wonderful. Same thing is happening inside of my life where all these things that you work on, right? And then it seems like you kind of come to the end because that national speaker for 33 years, like, boop, what happened here? Crickets. I mean, the world changed, okay? So, and being in, I was in a brick and mortar, and so we shift and everything just keeps going rising, right? And as we rise, we bring everybody with us. And I'm excited to see your excitement. So I want to find out more. The FLB Renal Institution Foundation is empowering individuals affected by diabetes, right? Hypertension, cardiac, to enhance their kidney health. So maybe just tell us a little bit. I know it's a lot, some of the tools and resources that the foundation provides to help the patients on the journey for better health.
Yes, and we have different treatments like regenerative, preventive treatments. And the reason that my big why in that, I'm diabetic myself since the last 7 years, and during COVID, not doing exercise, not motorcycle racing anymore, not boat racing for a couple of years because of injuries in my shoulder, my diabetic became completely out of control. And my doctors could not figure out my medication and things like that. So that's why Chuck came back to me, said, hey, come with us. You will learn a lot about preventive and regenerative medicine. And one of the big tools that we have is RPM, which stands for remote patient monitoring. It's to help people with chronic disease, diabetes, hypertension, and cardiac condition to manage their health from home. And actually, that's probably the only thing who came positive from COVID is the people are now open to the telemedicine, taking
Right.
care of their health from home, calling the nurses over the phone and doctors over the phone. So like that, they don't have to go to the hospital all the time.
Right.
Because if we don't fix this generation, and I think it will take about 1 or 2 generations to get into a proactive and preventive medicine. The Medicare system is paying now for about a dozen of CPT codes. They reimburse for prevention. So we at FLB Regenesis, in collaboration with InstaMD, we are providing people that can qualify with Medicare with a testing at home, but the testing goes directly to the cloud. We provide them with an iPhone, and now they can test themselves 3 or 4 times a day, or 10 times, or 1 time every 2 days. But they need to test themselves at least 16 times a month.
Mm.
So now people are interactive with their health instead of going to the doctor once
Right.
a year. And now, oh, you have high blood pressure. And 2, 3 weeks or 2, 3 months later, people are back drinking, smoking, not
Right.
testing themselves until the doctors are scaring them back again next year. So
Right.
now every month, if they come into a red zone, the back office is calling them to be in interaction with them, having nurses 24/7, doctors 24/7. And if they never get into the red zone, they still have one consultation every month. So it will take 4 to 6 months to get the clients to be compliant and be really involved in their health, which will make a huge difference in 6 months or 6 years from now.
That is really huge. I'm in my spare time, I'm a nutritionalist too, and I've been, I pay attention to a lot of these kind of programs. I've always been into complementary medicine, and that is the blessing that the pandemic gave us, that people can have virtual visits. In fact, my business went virtual. I talk to people all over the country and do everything for them on, with Zoom meetings. It's worked out wonderful. But it's blows my mind how disconnected people are. We all are. In, diabetes too is, a lot of results of what we eat and our lifestyle and what we do. And we're even doesn't mean just because your grandparents had diabetes that you have to. So there are ways of life and the ways to be, but it's such a growing problem among among younger and aging. Millions of people are affected. So what kind of key steps do you take to prevent and manage kidney disease and diabetes?
Yes, the RPM is one thing. The other thing that we have IND, which is investigational new drug program. We have 2 different INDs in the pipeline. One is already 94% success rate. We already have a white paper with the University of Missouri to prove that 94% of the patients sees a positive result on improving their kidney disease with one of the stem cell therapies. It's adipose stem cell therapies that goes from your belly fat and all that. I cannot really go too much into detail today, but I think we are created as human beings to be able to fix ourselves or heal ourselves naturally.
That's
So of
right.
course, if you take our cells, fix them up, reproduce them or whatever, and come back into your own body, you have less chance of rejection. And now it's your body to your body. So now you kind of heal yourself internally instead of having too much medication or too much chemical in your system.
That's great. You know that the understanding, the disease is maxing on. I mean, it keeps increasing, and drugs and surgery isn't always the alternative. I was faced with a situation in my 40s. I had a pituitary tumor, and they wanted to do drugs and surgery. And I did not like the feeling of them going up there and cutting something off my pituitary gland. It was a benign
Mm,
tumor, and it makes your growth hormone go crazy. You seen Robbins? Wonder why he's so big? Well, he had a pituitary tumor too, and it
really?
just makes things grow crazy. Well,
Oh,
just to tag on here, I just went, I don't want to do drugs and surgery and be on a drug and incapacitated for the rest of my life. So I just prayed, God, what do I do? And my message was prayer, fasting, cleanses, and over a number of years, thank God, beat it, right? And that
oh,
learned that,
congratulations.
yeah, that the body, just this is just from what you said, that the body is a divine, it's set up divinely to heal itself if you know how to put all these things in place. It sounds like Chuck is really smart on this, especially going through all of the different illnesses he has. And I don't know the stats, but around kidney disease and diabetes is alarming. I think it's like a huge population has that. Is that correct?
Yes, actually, I got some stats for you guys, and
Sure.
it's like sit down tight because it's pretty bad, right? So we have 133 million people who are diabetic or pre-diabetic. That's 1 out of 3 people.
Yeah.
Out of that, probably 30% don't even know it.
Mm,
So a lot of people, when because it's a silent killer because there
right.
is no symptoms when you are pre-diabetic, diabetic. I kind of knew I was pre-diabetic because my parents are diabetic. My grandmother died from diabetic.
Mm,
And with the stress is always a bad thing for
yeah.
cancer, diabetic, and hypertension and everything. So all the stress in my life with all my other projects and COVID that kind of hit everything at the same time,
Mm,
that's where my diabetic became out of control. So 1 out of 3 people are diabetic or pre-diabetic. Out of them, 31 million are a CKD patient, which is chronic kidney disease patient,
mm,
which really their kidney is in phase 2, 3, or 4 that they cannot reverse that. And out of those 31 million, only 700,000 are on dialysis. That means that all the people who are diabetic or chronic kidney disease, most of them will die before they even got to their first kidney
mm,
dialysis treatments by stroke, heart attack, because the kidney is kind of the quarterback
mhm,
of your body. So if the kidney function not good, your heart is affected, your lung, your brain, everything is affected. But unfortunately, is misdiagnosed, and they think, oh, you have heart problem. So now they are fixing your heart problem, or your high blood pressure, or your lung disease, or your liver disease. But in fact, that is out of the kidney disease. And as you know, they are trying to shut down the dialysis center and this and that because it costs a lot of money to the government. And remember, also another step is as soon as the patients are going to the hospital, either for high blood pressure or not on control, panic attack, anxiety, and all that, it could be all related to the kidney. As soon as they cross the threshold of the hospital, it's $3,500 just to cross the threshold.
Mm.
plus the surgery, the medication, the doctors, and all that. So every time it costs $5,000, $10,000 to the Medicare system. But now the baby boomer are more people than, so we are kind of the Pareto law, like the baby
Right.
boomers now are taking more money off the system, and you're in finance, so you
Yeah.
understand completely what I mean.
Yeah.
So now that's the first time in the history of North America that the baby boomers, from their pension plan, their health plan, and all that, they are taking more money out of the system. So
Mhm.
everything is in jeopardy if we don't fix at least our health, our finance, our retirement. Because the Medicare, the Social Security, and I'm going a little bit on finance because, as you said, if you don't have your health, you cannot have finance. But if you don't have finance, it's stressful on your health. So I think both goes together, and that's why I like the theme of your radio show. So the people needs to understand that they go both together. And if we don't fix one, we cannot fix the other. So they really goes hand in hand together. You follow me, right?
Yeah, it absolutely is woven together, and it's just that people haven't been educated, and if they realized how all this works, they'd be proactive in their own care. I mean, if you have a kidney thing, you want to pay attention to your numbers or a heart or this or that and manage it. Like that's really cutting edge to be able to have something to make it easy for people to set this up. And not have to go the way of the knife and the drugs and the surgery, but to take care of it ahead of time. And and also it's so true because this medicine has been set up. Now they've got great tests, but the medicine is set up to chase symptoms and they never really get to the cause. So like when I went in and I had a headache, they gave me three drugs. I said, I've got this headache all the time. They gave me three drugs and they said, whatever one of these works, we'll know what's wrong with you. And I was like, whoa, what is wrong with this picture?
Yeah.
And that was the time that I said, oh God, please, what do I do? Because, it felt pretty life threatening to me. And that I'm glad that I received that shift but it took me a lot of work because there was not a path. You guys have walked this path. For one out of three people, that's huge that they don't have to go through all of that process. So,
And the beauty of it with the RPM, it's free for the doctor, it's free for the patient.
ooh, free.
Medicare is paying for it.
Oh,
So the
great.
medical system can have more patients taking care of their health at home. So we
Yes.
will lower the overwhelming the system. And at the same time, a lot of people are stressed to go to see their doctor. And sometimes that's 5, 10 years they didn't go see the doctor.
Right.
So
Right.
by monitoring them, we are able to bring them back when they need something. If they don't need anything, that's fine. They have their little 30 or 20 minutes a month to be interacting with a nurse or our back office. But now we are bringing everybody back into take care of yourself, take care of the prevention, and the fact also that FLB Regenesis, which is at FLB with Chuck, that's 12 years that his mission, because he's 18 years sick on a dialysis center and all that. The last 10, 12 years, he focused all his life, all his mission is to build that medical campus, get the dialysis center, get the people prevention at home. We partner up with assisted living. So now we have a partner who has 3 or 4 different assisted living. We have the stem cell therapy. We have medical labs. We have pharmacy. So now everything is kind of under the same roof to bring to the people from home as much as possible. So like that, we lower the cost of the health system, but at the same time, we improve the health of people from home. So it's a win-win-win situation. This is a no-brainer for me. And that's why I'm so excited. And at the beginning, I told Chuck I will work a day or two, and now I'm working 3 or 4 days a week. So now
Right.
I'm putting my 2 feet in the ocean. I'm up till there. We have investors, and we are working in about right now we are probably at 44 million, $50 million project. So it's really exciting and bring all my knowledge and experience at the same time then bringing me into the medical system on medical field, because this is where the problem will be in the next 30 years.
That's
People
right. Mhm.
are aging. We have problems. People don't take care of themselves. We have the GMO and the fast food and the processed food. It's not a problem that just appeared this
Right.
year. It's I'm saying that since 30 years, and I was not even in the medical field, but I had the feeling, hey, I'm born and raised on the farm. My dad was raising chicken in 14 weeks. When the NAFTA came in 1990s, they had to give them a lot of shots, a lot of medication in their water and all that. My dad tried to resist for years. He almost got
Mhm.
bankruptcy, but he had to lower his production at 6 weeks. So we went from 14 weeks
Wow.
to raise a chicken to 6 weeks. There is something wrong.
Yes.
Something wrong with that
That's
picture.
totally. That is so crazy, and it's so obvious. It's so right in front of everybody. I mean, if you're putting all these chemicals in the foods you're eating, do you wonder why everybody's getting cancer and this? And I mean, it's like one and one is two, but we've been glazed over and told a lot of lies. You know, you go to the market and everything is all packaged, but you don't see what's inside of that packaging. You know, what happened to that animal and the whole story. And but when you step back and when we talk about it, I'm really glad we're talking about it because it is not what it looks like. And so and the rise of all the disease, it's as a result of all of these, chemicals that have been infiltrated everywhere. And your background, which is very cool how you can weave together, in actual science and finance, it really brings a unique perspective to the field of kidney diseases and diabetes. So, when you're looking at this, how do you integrate all of that inside what you're doing and the affiliate companies that you're building?
And that's exactly why I accepted the role to be the president of the FLB Renal Institutional Foundation, is to be able to raise the money, do foundation event. As you know, I'm an international speaker, so of course I can speak in front, do some education trainings um, with the assisted living, or presentation at doctors, a convention and all that, to bring that RPM system and the labs to be able to monitor the patient from home. That's one of the things. And the other thing is, to be able to attract people, you need to have some kind of notoriety. I'm no celebrity by no means, but if people Google my name, I'm pretty much everywhere, because I was a champion motorcycle racer and I was in finance for 20 years in Montreal. So, and I was featured on USA Today, Forbes News, ABC, uh, CBS, Money Watch, and all that. So now I'm bringing my media training and my media exposure, because I was featured in hundreds and hundreds of TV shows, radio shows, and magazines. So at least I have some kind of credibility to be able to match and to do all those events, to be able to do the awareness on kidney disease. So as soon as we finish to raise the money that we need for all the projects, I'll be on the road back again into my speaking, which is kind of my mission, to be a leader and an inspirational speaker.
Fabulous. As an international speaker and best-selling author, I'm sure you undoubtedly encountered individuals that had kidney disease and
One
you know,
out of three minimum.
very minimum. Give me a powerful story, maybe experience that motivated you to continue your work in the field.
Yeah, that's a good story, because I always come back to my motorcycle racing. You know that I already shared the story before, but at Daytona Bike Week, I was me, myself, and I doing my own mechanic at a big Daytona Bike Week, and I was just dancing with my bike. And when I took the starts, I qualified 11 out of 75 guys, which was the first time since 1984 that was the story. And that story is like always breathe in your helmet,
Uh-huh.
be center. Like even if you go on your bike left and right and you crash and the life is wiping you out, you need to go back on your bike. And to be honest with you, COVID killed me and a lot of people because I cannot do my international speaking. I cannot sell my books anymore, and I cannot have clients and coaching clients anymore. So that 3 years was completely disastrous for me.
Mm.
Luckily, I was doing fix and flip on the side, so I kind of survive on that. But it's all about dance with your body, be flexible, right? Live the life in the edge and be a leader. So finally, the last couple of corners of that race, I kind of slowed down a little bit. It was raining, so I kind of chose the rain tire, which kind of was working in my favor. In the last couple of corner, I had that little fear inside myself. How about if I crash? Oh, I don't want to crash, right? So instead of having the breathe in your helmet and dance with your bike, I had those little negative stories inside of myself. And I rolled off the throttle a little bit. And one guy passed me in the last couple of corners.
Mm.
So when I arrived in the paddock, everybody was cheering me and everybody was making that sense. I'm like, this is impossible. I could not have finished third. But finally, with that story, I finished third at Daytona against 75 guys.
Wow.
And I always remember that song. As you know, I love to sing. And I think the people get that. Be a leader in your industry.
Right.
Whatever you touch. Like me, I'm new in the medical field. But because of my background, and when you integrate everything you do in your life, every challenges you got, you can be a leader in your own field. And that reminds me that song. And if everybody just got one thing today, is take care of yourself as a leader for yourself, but as a leader for your family, for your kids. Eat better, having a better diet, having better friends, less stress. Everything is to be a leader, like this song. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I feel, if I succeed, at least I live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity because the greatest love of fought inside of me.
Yeah, sing it. Sing it, sister. Yeah, that's it. It's
So
the greatest
be a
love.
leader. Be
Yes.
in peace with yourself, even after the big storm that I just got through. Finally, I'm back into a mission, into a positive, inspiring, touching, life changing, because friendship and relationship from 12 years ago brought me back to a mission that will make a difference in the world.
That's beautiful. Why don't you tell everybody how they can get in contact with you and the best way?
The best way is to go to flbregenesis.com, or you can always Google Nadine Racing. You will find me everywhere. My phone number, Facebook, everything is there. But contact me. I also have my book, Win the Race of Life, at 180 miles per hour with balance and passion. So now I'm bringing that back in the medical field to help my colleagues and my friends with diabetic, high blood pressure, and cardiac disease. So, like that, we can improve health while we are lowering the health system that is completely broken. So, that's another story.
Yeah, right.
But besides that, let's help people one on one out of thousand. So, let's be helpful to people to take care of their own health.
That's it right there. Health is wealth. And that love to share that, more than money to be there for other people, to pass it on. This is how we're going to make it. This is going to help the system because it's going to take off the pressure from the system because people will be having the virtual business. It's the way it is the way of the new world. So I'm really glad to have you on here and share your story. Are you going to write some more songs around this what you're doing, or just keep sharing singing, right?
Um, no, like I use pieces of songs when I speak,
Yeah,
of course, because
right.
songs are telling stories. And when people already know the song, I have some original songs, but I don't share them a lot. It's like 15, 20 years ago, maybe one day, but they are in French, so nobody understand anything.
Right. Right. Well, the point is that you share spontaneously, and you're in the song of the heart, and the heart of caring and healing and health is wealth, because even if you get all the wealth, it's not going to do you any good if you don't have this. So take a listen, check Nadine out, go see what's going on. Also make sure that you subscribe, because we have some amazing people that show up, and then you'll get a notice. We're on YouTube. So if you want to see the video version and see how beautiful my friend is, you can hop on there and see us talking. And uh, real soon, you're going to see our new product, Create Income You'll Never Outlive. So we'll be talking about that soon. Thank you, Nadine, so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
There's so much to learn about healthy money. I hope today's discussion brings you one step closer to securing and protecting your future. So you can get started on the right foot, go to meetwithkrismiller.com and schedule your free financial fitness strategy session. Thank you for listening, and please subscribe to Money 911 so you don't miss our next episode, which includes health, wealth, and peace of mind.